What's up, interpreters? This is Michael Kirschman, Director, City of Virginia Beach, Parks and Recreation.
What's up, interpreters? This is Song. I'm your NAI Conferences and Events Manager.
What is up, interpreters? I am NAI Executive Director Paul Caputo. Michael, amazing to see you again after all these years.
Wonderful to see you. Thanks for having me.
Oh man, it is so much fun. It was, Song said to me, she said, I have this idea for this interview with Michael Kirschman, and he's with Virginia Beach Parks and Recreation. And I said, that's funny. I said, I knew a Michael Kirschman who was with Mecklenburg County in North Carolina. And Song said, I think it might be the same Michael Kirschman. So here we are all these years later. You've been involved with NAI for many years. Obviously, you've been in the field of interpretation for many years. Currently with the City of Virginia Beach, just down the road from where I went to college in Richmond, Virginia. That was my alma mater is Richmond. I went to grad school at VCU. So that was, I spent about a decade in Virginia. And the very first conference that I went to with NAI in 2002 was in Virginia Beach. So this is a homecoming in several ways. The City of Virginia Beach, it's a beautiful city. It's right there on the ocean. Great boardwalk. The Neptune statue is fantastic. With your background in interpretation, what are you hoping to accomplish through interpretation with Virginia Beach's Parks and Recreation?
It's a great question. And when I reflect on my career as an interpreter and all the trainings I'd received through NAI over the years, for years I was a CIT. Really, what I have tried to do is a better job of telling the story of our services, of our outcomes, and of our amazing facilities, whether that be through weaving in history, weaving in the impacts we have in this community, and trying to paint that picture so that's not just, we have X number of acres and X number of parks, we serve X number of people. It's that these are the things we're providing to the public, and here's some stories around that so we can really bring that to life and have it pop into somebody's mind much clearer, and they can see kind of what they're getting for their money, right? What they're getting for their tax dollars and the return on investment. And so it's really all about, in my opinion, telling the story, which is what interpretation is.
Michael, one of the, signature spots in the Parks and Rec Department is Mount Trashmore.
Yes.
Yeah. It's a landfill turned landmark. How do you interpret the reuse and resilience at that site without getting way too down in the weeds about sustainability? Or do you?
Yeah. Great question. Another great question. And you don't have to say this, but my staff do it really well. So Mount Trashmore is really our signature park, and it is well known. I fondly recall when I accepted the job and I told my peers and people around the country I was leaving Charlotte, North Carolina, and Mecklenburg County Parks and Recreation, and I was moving to become the director in Virginia Beach. I had people around the country say, "Oh, you're going to Mount Trashmore." So it is a very well-known park site in the Parks and Recreation world because it's the very first landfill in the world to have been converted to a public park. And so in today's day and age, you can go to landfills around the country and around the world, and yes, there are parks and there's trails, and they've repurposed that land into a public space. But back when Virginia Beach did this was cutting edge. This was visionary. This was an open pit, an open, smelly pit in the center of the city with seagulls flying around it every day, and somebody saying, this is going to be a gorgeous amenity to the community someday. And that's usually, I don't think when the Cuyahoga was burning, people said this will be a gorgeous amenity someday for Cleveland, right? But it takes somebody with that vision. So fast forward, it's been over 50 years now. It's this wonderful, iconic park. What's kind of unique about it is we are at sea level. We are at Virginia Beach, average elevation about 7 to 9 feet above sea level. And we have this 60-foot kind of mountain in this park over a gorgeous lake. The lake was formed by kneading the soil to cap the landfill, but it all turned into this just gorgeous amenity. And over the years, it's gone through various phases and types of amenities. And we have programs and we have staff that do a phenomenal job of taking the public on tours of the site and really telling this story and bringing it to life of really what was there, of course, using images and storytelling to what it is today to really weave that picture that this park did not happen overnight, right? There were a lot of people and forces that came into play to make it happen. There used to be a golf cart, or not golf cart, the derby races down the mountain back years ago. We have a gorgeous skate park, a vert ramp, many famous, Tony Hawk has skated out there, and big skating facility, roller skating or skateboarding facility out there. We have huge concerts. It's where we do our 4th of July fireworks. So we can put tens and tens of thousands of people on the mountain. And the fireworks are lit on the other side of the lake, so they're reflecting off the lake. And it's just this gorgeous amenity now where people go, and you can get up high. You can get some elevation change. And it's really where everybody goes, either the beach or the Mount Trashmore, to fly kites, because there's always a breeze. And so there's always people flying kites and exercising, running up and down the hill, which I tell you is strenuous. The first time I got here, I told my kids, let's race to the top. I haven't done it since, because it is a little steeper than you think. So it really is an amazing amenity with a very rich history here in Virginia Beach.
So, Michael, you started with Virginia Beach Parks and Rec prior to COVID.
Yes.
The world has changed immensely since then. What are the challenges that you see primarily for an organization like yours and for Virginia Beach Parks and Rec specifically? What challenges are you facing now that are new in the time since you joined on with them?
So following COVID, that was, of course, during COVID, we could spend hours talking about getting through that and all the changes. And every week was a different governor's order and really impacted a lot of we're the largest childcare provider in the city. So that there were specific requirements for childcare, specific requirements for weight rooms. So all that's kind of come and gone now. We're all through it, but it's changed us in many ways. One of the ways is throughout the park and recreational world, COVID cast a newfound light of appreciation on these outdoor spaces. So during COVID, in many places, visitation to trails and natural areas and parks skyrocketed. That was the one place people could go. And it changed visitation patterns quite a bit in a lot of different industries and types of places during COVID. Most of those other industries have reverted back to pre-pandemic levels of visitation. However, in the parks and recreational world, our visitation has remained higher than they ever were. And so you had these people discovering their local parks and trails kind of for the first time, and then saying, wow, it's really nice here. I'm going to go back at least once a month or every weekend or whenever I have off and go for a hike. That then results in something great, more people getting the psychological and health and mental benefits of using these public spaces, which is always what we want. At the same time, more wear and tear, more upkeep needed, and more demand for more such spaces. So we want more parks, more trails, more amenities. And we want these amenities to be kind of evolving faster with the recreational trends that are out there, right? So it used to be trends kind of came slowly and you had time to adapt. But when you have pickleball taking over the world in under 5 years, you can't build pickleball courts fast enough. And so COVID really kind of accelerated this need to reinvest in our parks and really up our game in terms of customer services, which is a challenge when you have the same resources, same staffing levels, same budgets. Everybody has budgetary pressures. So COVID also presented many challenges with us because at the same time, populations are changing. It was starting to be hard to fill some positions. COVID hit. A lot of the workforce left and never came back, either retired, went to different industries. And so we still have some areas of operation within our department that we find very difficult to keep our staffing levels at an adequate level for the levels of service that we expect. So that's going to be an ongoing challenge. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. We all know what the population pyramid's no longer a pyramid. There's not more people underneath coming up. It's the same or less, actually, right? We're an aging population. And so there's not enough 18, 19, 20-year-olds anymore that want a lifeguard or want to do childcare. But our needs are still as great as before, if not greater. So we have those challenges. We're tackling them the best we can through a couple different ways. But COVID definitely really made those changes come to light and really thrust a spotlight on them.
So kind of to follow up on that, Michael, you kind of the staffing topic, I believe you have over like 200 different sites that are under the umbrella of Virginia Beach Parks and Rec. How many staff does it take to run all of that? And then how heavily do you rely on volunteers as well?
Yeah. So we're a large department. So Virginia Beach is the largest city in the state of Virginia, population-wise. So population around 450, 460,000, just to put it in perspective.
I would have lost a lot of money on that trivia question right there. I would have absolutely gone Richmond.
The small little town, the resort town of Virginia Beach, annexed Princess Anne County many years ago. So we're very large landmass. And most other cities in the state are just split. Their populations are divided between the county or their neighboring cities. So yeah, we're the largest population, very large landmass, and we have over 290 parks, a little over 7,000 acres. We have 7 very large community recreation centers. We're the largest childcare provider in the city. We provide before and after school childcare at all 56 elementary schools. Plus 4 licensed early childhood centers at 4 of our 7 rec centers. And so all that, we have a budget of just under 90 million and about 1,400 staff. So about 550 full-time and roughly 900 at any given time, 900 to 1,000 part-time, which is similar to many park and rec agencies. Part-timers really are the lifeblood of your organization, just due to your services and your business model. So it takes a lot because we also, in this department, we don't just maintain all of those acreages and parks. We also maintain all city properties. So what that means is the land around every library, fire station, police station, pump house, the aquarium, the oceanfront tourism area, every divided roadway and highway in the city that we have to mow, all the street trees. And so we have a fairly extensive landscaping division as well to really maintain not just the parks, but all city properties, plus run the rec centers, plus manage the parks. So it's a large. When it comes to volunteers, we have a lot of volunteers. We partner with garden clubs. We partner with groups that clean up our parks. We partner with groups that run special events on our properties. We partner with other city departments for a lot of our services. We have a very successful program that was called Parks After Dark, where we provide free food, entertainment, and fun Thursday, Friday, Saturday nights till 11 o'clock all summer long. There's a partnership with the police. The police are there, playing touch football and volleyball and playing with the kids in the parks just to increase that kind of community cohesion and get to know your police officer. So there's all these joint programs going on and all these events that really go far beyond just our 1,400 staff. It's a whole army of volunteers, other city departments as well, and partners.
So how in the heck do you fit in interpretation with all of this additional logistical stuff you're doing?
So it's a blend. So of course, sometimes it's straight, true, traditional interpretation, right? We're taking a group kayaking at one of our gorgeous water access points, and we're going to talk about the biodiversity and the habitat that they're kayaking on, right? Standard kind of traditional interpretive program. Or like we said, we're taking a group on a tour of Mount Trashmore, talking about the history of that site. Other times it's a little more nuanced. It's me presenting to our elected officials or the city management, and I'm trying to weave interpretive techniques into my presentation to, help make a point or persuade or enlighten or educate the people I'm talking to using some of those techniques. So it's everything in between, right? From just using the techniques to straight up interpretive programming.
So the area, we can call it, what do we call it? It's Virginia Beach, obviously, Hampton Roads, coastal Virginia, Tidewater. There's a lot of names
What names for this region, yes.
for that place. Obviously, this is where we're going to be for our NAI National Conference, which at the time this drops is right around the corner. Like this episode is going to drop shortly before the conference. What do you recommend? Folks are coming in. They want to experience Virginia Beach to its fullest. They want to see through the perspective of Virginia Beach Parks and Rec. What the area is all about.
Can I just give a plug for Michael Kirschman?
Here comes a plug.
Yeah, for Michael Kirschman's pre-conference workshop, which is a not behind the scenes, but it is a hidden gems of Virginia Beach via the Parks and Rec department.
Yes.
So on this pre-conference workshop, you're going to visit some of the sites?
Yes, we're going to hit about 5 or 6.
What are you going to do? Tell us about your pre-conference workshop. Sounds amazing.
Yeah, so we're super excited to be hosting NAI here in Virginia Beach. Happy to have you back. Can't wait to see you and everybody else in person for a change. And we have a number of our staff, of course, attending the conference. So we decided to your point, I equate somebody coming to Virginia Beach like somebody coming to America for the first time. And that person comes to America and they fly to New York City and they only see New York City and they leave. And that's their image of America, right? But there's a big country. There's a lot more out there to see than just New York City or that one place they landed. When people come from outside Virginia Beach and they come to experience Virginia Beach and they just stay at the tourism, what we call the oceanfront area, we have a gorgeous 3-mile boardwalk with the King Neptune statue, and it's incredible with phenomenal restaurants and things to do. It's really cool, but that's probably 1% of the landmass of the city of Virginia Beach. And so there's so many other places to see and experience here. So I would tell somebody definitely check out the boardwalk. Definitely hit some of those incredible seafood restaurants. And if you can get on the water and do some deep sea or near shore fishing or some parasailing or a dolphin tour, or if you come in the wintertime, we got the humpbacks, go whale watching. Definitely you want to do all that stuff. But there's a lot of other stuff to go see. So there's other beaches. I was at Sandbridge Beach last night. It's south of the ocean front. Sandbridge is like our Outer Banks. I think most people know what the Outer Banks are like. In fact, they go right into the North Carolina Outer Banks. So we border North Carolina. Our whole southern border of our city borders North Carolina. And so Sandbridge is just very laid back, not really restaurants or hotels, just homes along the beach, very chill. There's Back Bay National Wildlife Refuge. So in addition to our 290 city parks, we got a National Wildlife Refuge. We got First Landing State Park, the most popular state park in the state park system. We have the lighthouses. So we have the very first public works project commissioned by the New Country in George Washington, with construction overseen by Alexander Hamilton. And that is the 4-story lighthouse, which is really cool to go see. So you got this history. You have these incredible places to get on the water and do freshwater, get kayaking and paddle boarding. And you get back into some of these swamps that are just absolutely incredible. Great bird watching sites. We got historical homes. We got town center, which is like our downtown area. We got performing arts. So there's kind of like something for everybody. You just gotta get out and experience it. And we hope to share that with some of the participants on the tour. We'll be hitting about 5 or 6, depending on how the time goes in the days. But we get all these activities and sites planned to show folks something other than the boardwalk and oceanfront, which they're going to see a lot of anyway. So we'll get them out. We'll get them to one of our big projects. We're taking a 100-acre golf course and turning it into a stormwater park. We'll solve the flooding for a few thousand homes, but it's going to be a phenomenal, gorgeous amenity with overlooks and kayak launches and huge project. I mean, we have a couple $1 million just in native plugs going in right now. It's going to be an amazing natural area. We're going to hit Pleasure House Point, which protects the threatened terrapin and diamondback terrapin. We're going to get people out there hiking. We're going to go to Stumpy Lake. It's a 1,100-acre place that would have been developed, but the city preserved it. It's a bird watchers and kayakers paradise. We're going to, of course, go to Mount Trashmore. So we're going to see some really cool sights other than the incredible Atlantic Ocean and boardwalk and the beaches there. So should be fun.
I am so excited. I want to go.
And if you like seafood, we got some of the best seafood restaurants in town, in the country.
That's right. She crab soup, everybody.
I spent 3 months here prior to moving to Charlotte. My wife was still back with the kids selling the house. I moved to start my job, and I made it my job to test out every she crab soup and every microbrewery before they got here. Yes.
That was smart. That was really valuable research that you were doing so that, by the time she got there, she was all set. It's
very important.
That was awfully good of you, Michael. That was
Hey, Michael, I have one question that we haven't touched on, but I thought that I read that Parks and Rec does like therapeutic recreation.
Sure. Yeah.
Right? I don't know if we have, well, we'll make time in this podcast. I haven't heard a lot about that, like I think I know what it is. I think I've participated in some of it. But I haven't seen a lot of mention on other, with other organizations, with other parks, with other nature centers. Can you expand on what that is? What is therapeutic recreation, and how does your department run that?
So we have an entire therapeutic recreation and inclusion services unit. The whole point of therapeutic recreation is to ensure that we're providing the services and experiences for youth and adult with special needs and disabilities, just like anybody else. So we have very specialized trained staff that are trained, have their certificates in TR, work with these populations. And so, I mean, our therapeutic rec participants, they go surfing. We take them surfing, and we partner with our aquatics and our lifeguards, and we'll get them out of the water surfing, or what's called a belly act, where you lay down on your belly and can have that same experience. We partner with our other park and rec departments in the area. We take them on field trips, tours, summer camps, arts and crafts. And really the difference between therapeutic recreation and inclusion is a therapeutic rec program, all the participants in there have some type of special need, right? Inclusion services is where a child with special needs wants to participate in a program that the general public is going towards. And that's great too. And we will work with, in our inclusion services, we will make the modifications necessary to ensure that child or adult can participate in that program, unless for some reasons it's just not possible. So we have a whole team that ensures that population is served. And quite honestly, by law, all departments should be providing therapeutic recreation services. Or if they're not big enough or large enough to have their own unit, they should be partnering with an organization that provides that service to the population.
And how does your interpretive programming blend in with that therapeutic recreation and inclusion services?
Seamlessly. There should be no difference, right? So let's say somebody with any type of special need wants to go on the interpretive tour of Mount Trashmore, no problem. Okay, let's say that you can't hike or walk up the steps or up the mountain to get to the top, no problem. We'll give you the same experience at the base of the mountain, or we'll get you up there on a golf cart, right? Whatever your comfort level is, or whatever it is that we can do, so that you have the same experience as anybody else. Same with our therapeutic rec programs, right? All depending on the abilities of the participants. But there really shouldn't be, the whole point is there shouldn't really be any difference, if that makes sense. in terms of the experience.
Well, Michael, I know this is maybe the most important question that I will ask you here is that you left Charlotte, North Carolina, and now you're in the Tidewater area in Virginia Beach. Iconic minor league baseball team, the Charlotte Knights. Now you're in Virginia Beach with the Norfolk Tides.
Norfolk Tides, yes.
The Norfolk Tides. That's a great minor league baseball experience right there on the water.
Yes, without a doubt.
So, having been to both of those ballparks, I can say you've been moving around from great ballpark to great ballpark there. So we always try to build in a visit to a minor league baseball stadium when we do the site visit for the conference. And so we got to a Tides game. That was a ton of fun.
Good. You got your helmet. You got all good. Yeah.
Michael, I love that it's been a decade since that we talked, and you remember that I'm into the ice cream helmets.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
I did get my helmet. Thank you for asking. Yes.
Good. Otherwise, I'd have one here waiting for you.
Michael, before we let you go, where can folks go online or on the socials or what have you to find out more about Virginia Beach Parks and Rec?
Yeah, so the number one place to go would be online, of course, and they can go to parks.virginiabeach.gov or just vbgov.com and go to the city website, and they can find all the information about this department, our services, and our facilities.
Michael, thank you so much. It's been a ton of fun to catch up and can't wait to see you in Virginia Beach proper.
Same. Looking forward to seeing you and everybody else at the conference.
And interpreters?
That's
what's up.